Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a knife to take a look at. This one's coming from Eafengrow and the model is the EF152. This knife is going to be a fixed blade using K110 steel. It's going to have G10 handles and it looks really cool. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing. We'll go over all the features and specifications of it. We'll put it to use and then give some thoughts on it. So as you can see, we have a pretty basic black box, but that is okay because you are not buying this for the box, and it helps keep costs down by not doing a whole bunch of exotic stuff with that box. Let's see what we get here. So it looks like we're gonna have the knife, a sheath, and like a little cleaning cloth. Quickly show you the sheath here. I'm not sure if it's Kydex or not. It's definitely some type of plastic. You can see like the outline of where the knife is going to go into it, which is a nice touch. It is like a taco style little sheath here. Looks like we have a drain hole back here. Kind of a little bit of a thumb ramp right there to be able to pull it out. It is going to have like a tech lock type clip system here. You can wear this as it is right now for a vertical carry. You can also switch this to where it would be here for a horizontal carry. These tech locks, basically you have like a lock position and an unlock position. So if you're over here and you push it, you cannot open this, and then you just slide this over a little bit, you push it, and then it opens up for you. Alright, let's take a look at this EF152. It's probably going to have some oils and stuff on it. Just going to show you some close-ups here at first, and then we'll start going over all the details of it. So Eafengrow is kind of describing this EF152 as kind of like a do-it-all EDC knife. They're saying it's good for even like doing stuff in the kitchen, survival stuff, hiking, camping, hunting, and they don't specifically say it on the Amazon listing, but it probably is good for self-defense as well. The overall length of this knife is 8.8 inches. The blade length is 4.2 and the handle is 4.6. The blade width at its widest spot is 1.3 inches, and then the blade thickness is 4 millimeters. The handle or grip thickness is 0.73 inches, and the grip height is right about an inch. Knife itself coming in at a weight of 5.5 ounces. You're probably going to be carrying it with the sheath. Everything combined is 8.4 ounces. So like I said before, they're using K110 steel, which is very similar to D2. This is going to have like a stone wash finish on it. We're going to have our model number right there, company logo there. A little bit of jimping up here. It's pretty deep cut jimping. Like once your thumb gets on there, like it is not moving anywhere. There are a couple small designs kind of in the blade here. Show you the grind on it. This does have a full tang, which this ring is kind of part of that as well. We are going to have like a hand guard or finger stop or whatever right there as well. These handles are G10. They do have a texturing on them, which kind of reminds you almost of like micarta, but they're still just a fiberglass feel to them. But it's an interesting texture to it. And obviously there's like all of this design that's in them as well. We're going to have some hardware here that has some blue accents on it. And then there's some inserts that have red on that, almost like the liners. And there is that tactical ring that's on it. It allows you to use the knife like this here, whether it's for jabbing or slicing, whatever it might be. Or you can switch it to your pinky and then use it like this as well. But the handle length still gives you enough room that if you don't want to use it for whatever task you're doing, you definitely do not have to use the ring. Before we start using it for tasks, I want to check out this sheath. I never showed it to you guys at the beginning. Just want to see what the retention's like. Very good, no rattle. Let's see how easy it is to come out. Yeah, it's pretty easy. And it's got that little bit of a thumb ramp right there. So what I always do is just put my thumb there and just kind of pop it right out. Alright, let's just get into using it. We'll see how it does with slicing and just normal cutting stuff. That was a very clean cut. Couple little jags right there, but overall very clean. Yeah, this is very sharp right out of the box. Alright, up next we'll do an index card. These are like twice as thick as a normal index card. Let's see how this goes through it. Again, overall pretty clean. You can see it does leave just a few little spots there, but sometimes it could be my angle that I'm trying to go through the stuff, but all right, up next, some corrugated cardboard. Fairly clean on it. I'm not having to put a ton of pressure either. It's just kind of slicing through that pretty easily. Up next, just some kind of small rope here. Again, I always like to see how much pressure I have to put on here. Yeah, they just went right through it very easily. Almost no pressure at all. Different spots of the blade, I kind of cut there, end up there, and it was easy for all of it. I'll try to go right at the tip here and see what that's like. Yeah. Do a plastic zip tie here next. Again, kind of see how hard I have to pull and if it goes through in one time or not. That did not go through, but it could have been my angle. Nope, that did not go through. That is having a hard time with that one. I think maybe because of the slope of the blade. But yeah, I am not going through it. There, it finally made it, but that was like maybe 4 pulls or something. Gonna try some cutting tasks next. I have this like plasticky type rope, and it's the kind that you really can't tie into a knot. And even like my razor blades, like my utility knives or carpet cutters, have a hard time cutting through this stuff. So we'll see what this does. Yeah, that did not make it all the way through. So that took probably 3 or 4 times through it. Let's try. I know it's kind of short, but let's see if we can do it this way. It did make it through in one pull that way. Most of my knives cannot do that actually. Up next, I have like this really thick plastic strap. Let's see how this slices through this. Don't think it made it through. Nope, it didn't. So it still did not cut all the way through. It got to where I could snap it off. We'll try this power cord here next. It's got a pretty thick sheath on it and then 3 wires inside. Again, we'll see how much pressure I have to put down and how many times it takes to get through it. So I am putting a lot of pressure and I can feel it kind of grabbing in there. There, I made it through. It took about 3 times to get through. And finally for inside, I have this heater hose. Again, we'll see how many times it takes to get through, how much effort I have to put down. About halfway through. So again, I was putting quite a bit of pressure, and it did take me maybe 2 or 3 kind of push and pull to get through it, but it did make it through pretty easily. Try to show you guys a couple different ways of carrying this. I wear black a lot because I carry a gun a lot. Right now I have it basically in like the vertical position. And I will say that even with black on, I can see it printing through a little bit right here in this position. And the reason is that where the clip is, there's way more of the knife sticking out higher than the clip than what it is lower than it. So it just naturally causes it to kind of tilt forward a little bit. And even if you had this like in the 3 o'clock position or whatever, it's still going to stick out a little bit. So here it is kind of in like the horizontal position. It's definitely more concealable this way. So if you are trying to conceal carry it, it's probably the way I'd recommend doing it. I'm right-handed, so I kind of offset mine to the left side a little bit. It just makes it way easier to kind of draw it out than in this position. It's also way more comfortable if you're sitting down or bending over. You almost don't feel it in this position. Now, if I were open carrying, whether it's out in the field or hunting, whatever it might be, I don't really have a problem with the vertical position. But yeah, if you are trying to hide it, I would definitely recommend going horizontal with it. All right, let's see how this EF152 does with some other tasks. We'll just do a little bit of like, almost like shaving, maybe if we're trying to make a tent stake. Gonna see how that gets through that. Try to take some of these off. Not bad. Try a little bit of chopping. Again, it's not the heaviest knife, and the blade's not real heavy, but let's see how that does. Again, they say it's camping, kind of bushcraft. I would say that would take a lot of effort, and this is probably only, I don't know, 1.5 inches thick or so. Probably not the best chopper, honestly. You'd probably be better off with a small hatchet or axe or something. We'll try some light splitting. Again, it's a full tang, so it should be able to do this. We'll get it started here. Yeah, no trouble with that at all. Try something a little bit thicker here. Blade should be able to go across that. Might have to just take like a corner here. There we go. Yeah, again, no trouble once I got it started. Let's see how it does throwing some sparks. I will say that the entire spine is slightly rounded on it. But let's see what we can get. They're probably not even showing up on camera. There's some light ones, but it's not a whole bunch at all. I can find a couple spots that can throw them, but not, again, not great sparks. Yeah, I've been trying for several minutes. You can see it kind of burn up the blade here a little bit, but it just does not want to throw great sparks. So I've had this little knife for a few weeks now, and will share some of my thoughts with you guys. So first thing I'll say is I absolutely love the looks of it. The all blacked out like this with that stonewash blade, the tactical ring, I just think it looks really sweet. I can tell you that they're using pretty decent materials, such as that K110 steel, the G10 handles, and it really does have excellent build quality. When I did like the testing outside, I probably split, I don't even know, probably 30 pieces of wood. None of it was like huge or anything, but like taking that like branch and basically like beating down on this, like when I brought it in, it literally just all wiped clean. And then that trying to strike that ferro rod, I probably tried that, I don't even know, probably 60, 80 times at least. And there's almost no wear anywhere on the spine of that blade. I mentioned earlier in the video that the K110, like it is similar to D2. It's not like the most premium steel, but it is a good steel. It has good edge retention. It's easy to sharpen. And with this having that full tang, you know it's going to be very strong and stand up to a lot of abuse. That jimping up on top is really aggressive, but provides plenty of traction, and it's not like too sharp that it feels like it's digging in or going to cut your thumb or anything. Just a lot of traction on that. It has the G10 handles, feels very secure in your hand. I will say that I have extra large hands, and if you use like the finger groove, my pinky does kind of come onto this ring here. I'm not going to say it feels uncomfortable, but it does feel different. But if you use the ring, you don't notice that at all. But if you're just going like this, you do feel it. And then the other thing I'll say is these corners right here do create a little bit of a hot spot. Try to show you an up close of it here. I almost wish that they would have tapered this in a little bit more, because when it is in your hand, you can definitely feel that corner kind of pushing in a little bit. It's not like super uncomfortable, you just feel it. That included sheath has excellent retention, absolutely no rattle whatsoever. And when I showed it earlier in the video, I forgot to tell you guys that this is actually adjustable. You can move these things, and if you have a smaller belt, you can like reposition it. My belt is actually a gun belt, and with both of them on, I could not get this to clasp over this, so I just had to remove one of them, and then it snaps in there just fine now and is very secure on there. So as you saw in the outdoor testing, it is not the best chopper in the world, and it's just because like it's a little more balanced. There's not a whole lot of weight down here in just the blade, and then it also does not throw sparks very well, and it just is ever so slightly rounded. It's not completely squared off here on the top of the spine. So therefore, I probably wouldn't use this for camping, or obviously not for bushcraft or anything like that, but it's a good EDC knife or a defensive knife. It's good for opening packages, or like those plastic bands that come around boxes, breaking down cardboard. It's even good for like slicing food and stuff. I also demonstrated this on and talked about if you are trying to conceal carry this, which you should look at your local laws on that, but you can see where this is positioned, and there's very little of it down here versus a whole lot of the knife up here. And in the vertical position, it does want to like tip out just a little bit, and then that ring and stuff does print just ever so slightly. If you're wearing it outside, you don't have to worry about that at all, but it's easy to switch this clip around so that you can carry it in the horizontal position. So the EF152 is available on Amazon. They're coming in right around $30. There's a clickable coupon that brings them down to $27. They're available in this black that I have. They have a green handle version, and then a black handle with the silver blade. And I'll include that link down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on them, read some reviews, or pick one up. but I do think it is a good knife, and the price is very budget friendly on it. Alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.